Good morning, students. Let us continue our topic electrostatic potential and capacitance. Already in the previous class we discussed about a capacity, what is the capacitance and the symbols for the capacitance and the formula for the capacitors we discussed. Now we are going to discuss the capacitors in series. Capacitors in series. Capacitors in series. Capacitors in series. What is meant by a series combination of the capacitors? Suppose if you take three capacitors, let it be capacitor C1 and this is capacitor C2 and this is capacitor C3, and these three capacitors are connected like this to a battery of potential V. We are connected to a battery of potential V. Let charge Q is passing through the three capacitor, but let the potential drop across the capacitor. C1 is V1, at C2 is V2, at C3 is V3. These are the potential drops. The potential drops across the capacitors. At C1 is V1, at C2 is V2, at C3 is V3. Now we define what is the series combination of the capacitors. Just look at here. The charge is the same at each capacitor, but the potential is different. The potentials are different, but at the three capacitor the charge is the same. So we define the capacitor, the series combination of the capacitors as if number of capacitors are connected in such a way that charge is the same at each capacitor, then the capacitors are said to be in series. Then the capacitors are said to be series. Then the capacitors are said to be in series. Look at here once again. If number of capacitors are connected in such a way that charge is the same at each capacitor, then the capacitors are said to be in series. Let here, let C1, C2 and C3 be the three capacitors. Are connected to a battery of potential V. Let Q be the charge. Same at each capacitor. Let V1 be the potential. At C1 and V2 be the potential at C2 and V3 be the potential at C3. Therefore, the total potential V is equals to, we can write V1 plus V2 plus V3, but C is equals to, we know Q by V, that implies V is equals to, we can write Q by C, and V1 is equals to Q by C1 because the charge is same. V2 is equals to Q by C2, V3 is equals to Q by C3. Here the charge is the same at each potential. Now substitute these values in the above equation. We have V equal to Q by C is equals to V1 is equal to Q by C1 plus V2 is equal to Q by C2 plus V3 is equal to Q by C3. Okay. By cancelling Q, we can have 1 by C is equals to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. This is the net capacitance when the capacitors are connected in series. This is the expression for the net capacitance. If three capacitors are connected in series, 1 by C is equals to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. So how can we define the net capacitance? the reciprocal of the net capacitance is equals to the sum of the individual reciprocals, the sum of the capacitance of individual reciprocals. This is about the series combination of the capacitor. This is also a 4 marks question. What is a definition for the capacitors in series? If number of capacitors, 3 or more, whatever it is, whatever be the number it is, if a number of capacitors are connected in such a way that charge is the same, the Q, the charge here, the Q is the same at each capacitor, then the capacitors are said to be in series. Here the potential differs. At C1 the potential drop is a V1, at C2 the potential drop is a V2, and at C3 the potential drop is V3. So the definition for the capacitors in series combination of the capacitor is if a number of capacitors are connected in such a way that charge is the same at each capacitor, then the capacitors are said to be in series. So this is the expression for the series combination of the capacitors if 3 capacitors are given. 1 by C is equals to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. Next, capacitors in parallel. Our next topic is the capacitors in parallel. Capacitors in parallel. Parallel combination of the capacitors. So here let it be capacitor 1 and this is the capacitor 2 and this is capacitor 3. These are all connected like this: positive and positive, negative and negative. All positive terminals are connected at one point and all negative terminals are connected at another point. This combination is connected to a battery of potential V. Let it be battery. So here let it be capacitor C1 and this is C2 and this is a C3. Charge passing to the capacitor C1 is Q1 and C2 is Q2 and C3 is Q3. But the potential difference between A and B is V. Now we define, how we will define the capacitors in parallel. Here the charges are different. At C1 the charge is Q1, at C2 the charge is Q2, at C3 the charge is Q3. But the potential is the same across these 3 capacitors. So we define the parallel combination of the capacitors as if number of capacitors are connected in such a way that the potential difference across each capacitor is the same, then the capacitors are said to be parallel. Once again, listen students carefully. If number of capacitors are connected such a way that the potential difference across each capacitor is the same, that is the definition for the capacitors in parallel or parallel combination of the capacitors. Now we take a look at derivation for the capacitance, net capacitance. Let C1, C2 and C3 be the 3 capacitors are connected to a battery of potential B. Let V be the potential across A and B. Let Q1 be the charge at C1 and Q2 be the charge at C2 and Q3 be the charge at C3. Therefore, you can write net charge Q is equals to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. Now we derive, we substitute the values. But we know that C is equals to Q by V and Q is equals to CV. Q1 is equal to C1V. Q2 is equals to C2V. Q3 is equals to C3V because the potential is the same. By substituting these values, Q equal to CV is equals to C1V plus C2V plus C3V. V gets cancelled on both sides. We get C is equals to C1 plus C2 plus C3. This is the net capacitance for the three capacitors which are connected in parallel. C is equals to C1 plus C2 plus C3. This is the parallel capacitors. Okay. Now we define the effective resistance if three or more capacitors are connected in parallel. The effective capacitance is equals to sum of the individual capacitances. The net capacitance is equals to the sum of the individual capacitances. This is about the capacitors in series and parallel combination, which is having 4 marks. And next our topic, most important, expression for the capacitance of parallel plate capacitor. Expressions for the capacitance of parallel plate capacitor. Capacitance of parallel plate capacitor. Capacitance of parallel plate capacitor. Parallel plate capacitor. Which is the most important question. Just we consider a parallel plate capacitor. Let it be plate 1 and this is a plate 2. Plate 1 has a positive charge. This is a positive charge and this is a negative charge plate 2. Okay. So the direction of the electric field is from positive to negative. Let it be E. Positive to negative. And the plate area is A. And the distance between the plates is, let it be small d. This plate 1 has a surface charge density sigma and this is a minus sigma. This is a minus sigma. Now let us derive the expression for the capacitance of parallel plate capacitor. So plate 1 has surface charge density. Surface charge density sigma is equals to Q by A, and plate 2 has a surface charge density minus sigma is equals to Q by A. Let it be first equation. Here the two plates can produce an electric field individually. We want to find the net electric field due to these two plates. So net electric field due to two plates. So E is equals to E1 plus E2, and where E1 is equals to sigma by 2 epsilon naught and U2 is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon naught. So we can write 2 sigma by 2 epsilon naught. 2 gets cancelled and we have sigma by epsilon naught. This is an electric field E. This is the expression for the electric field E. But we know that E is equals to, we have the formula V by D. The relation between the electric field and electric potential E is equals to V by D. And substituting this value, then V by D is equals to sigma by epsilon naught. V by D is equal to, where sigma is equal to, we can write Q by A into epsilon naught. Substituting the value of Q here, Q is equals to sorry, sigma is equal to Q by A. But we know C is equals to Q by V. That implies we can write Q is equal to CV. Instead of Q, I can write CV. V by D is equals to CV by A into epsilon naught. VV gets cancelled. From this, C is equals to epsilon naught A by D. This is the expression. This is the expression for the capacitance of parallel plate capacitor. C is equals to epsilon naught A by D, where A is the area of the plates and this D is the distance between the plates. Epsilon naught is the permittivity of the medium, permittivity of the free space. Epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space. So this is about the capacitors in series and parallel. Once again, look at here. Here I have considered a parallel plate capacitor. It's having two plates, plate 1 and plate 2. Plate 1 has a positive charge and plate 2 has a negative charge. The electric field is directed from the positive to negative, and the distance between the two plates, let it be D. The distance between the two plates is D and the area of the plates is A. So plate 1 has a surface charge density, it's Q by A, and plate 2 has the surface charge density minus sigma is equals to Q by A. Okay. We want to find the net electric field due to the plate 1 and the plate 2. Plate 1 can produce an electric field and plate 2 also can produce an electric field individually. The net capacitance is equals to, so net electric field is equals to E is equals to E1 plus E2, and where E1 is equals to sigma by 2 epsilon naught and E2 is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon naught, and we have 2 sigma by 2 epsilon naught, 2 gets cancelled, and E is equals to sigma by epsilon naught. E is equals to sigma by epsilon naught. So, but we know that a relation between electric intensity and electric potential is E is equals to V by D. By substituting instead of P, E is equals to V by D and sigma by epsilon naught. So we write the value of sigma. Instead of sigma, I can write Q by A. Sigma instead of sigma, Q by A into epsilon naught. A into epsilon naught. E is equal to, but C is equal to Q by V. So instead we place the value of Q, CV. VV gets cancelled. So C is equals to epsilon naught A by D. C is equals to epsilon naught A by D. So this is our topic, and next topic is energy stored in a capacitor. How much energy is stored in a capacitor? Our next topic is energy stored in a capacitor. Energy stored in a capacitor. In a capacitor. How much energy will be stored? So let us take a capacitor of charge Q, and which is connected to a battery of potential V. Battery of potential V. The energy stored is like that. The work done by a battery to drive a continuous supply of charges to the capacitor, and which can store the charges. The work done by a battery, the work done by a battery to drive continuous supply of charges to the capacitor is dW is equal to V into dQ. But the total work done is obtaining by integrating on both sides. Total work done integral dW is equal to integral V into dQ, 0 to Q. But C is equals to Q by V. That implies V is equals to, we can write Q by C, substituting this value in the above equation. Integral dW is equal to W is equals to integral 0 to Q. V is equals to Q by C into dQ. Then W is equals to 1 by C, outside the integration, and we have a q into dq. We know the integral value. This integral value is a q square by 2. W is equals to, we have q square by 2c. Q square by 2c. But the work done can be stored in the form of energy. So W is replaced by U. U is equal to, we have the formula q square by 2c. Or we can write it as V is equal to half CV square. This is the how much energy is stored in a capacitor. U is equal to Q square by 2c, or U is equal to half CV square.